Sisanda, first of all, I just want to say thank you for being willing to have this conversation. I'm really looking forward to hearing how life has been since the course.
It's been interesting. It's been a very interesting ride.
So I guess I want to start at the beginning and ask you, what made you join?
A friend who I did coaching with told me about the course, and they sent me a little bit of information about it. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't think it's for me. I don't think it's going to work out. And then she was like, yes, but just think about it. Think about the network that we'll be building for our coaching courses, because we'll be meeting other people, and it'll be like we'll be connecting with a broader spectrum. And that's how she sold it, right? Not because I was sold on what the topic was, but because like it sounded like it's something great for my business. And so that's how I started, and that's how I joined the course.
What were you hoping to get out of it then?
So you sent us the first tranche of notes, right? And I was reading through it. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe it'll help me have more compassion for the clients that I don't understand, like culturally. And so I said, yes, of course, there's nothing terrible in learning something new.
So then I have to ask, because I've gotten the honor of witnessing your journey.
Sure.
What happened to you?
Wow. It was a challenge, right? Not only was it mentally a challenge, but it was challenging my heart too. It was challenging my values. It was challenging all those things, like that I was brought up to believe of, like, this is what a human being is. And so now how am I questioning being a human being, And it came at a time in my life where everything has been questioned so far. I questioned being a woman, being a mother, being a professional, and I fought it. As you can remember, I fought it for a very long time. And one day something clicked. And I can't remember how this thought came about, but it was about not being honest with yourself then. If I don't do it from a place of loving myself, then not only am I lying to myself, but to everybody else around me, right? Because I don't want to do it. I'm doing it for the wrong reasons and all of that. And I end up being grumpy or complaining all the time because this is not where I wanted to be. And it shifted something. I started asking the question over and over to myself. And then I came to the realization that it's not only just if I loved myself. I could literally put it in the context of culturally how I was brought up, right? Because culturally we're always a collective. Because then the question is, if I loved everyone, what would I do? And then I realized this is not how I would do it. If I truly said I loved it, and it wasn't on the basis of the perception of how it looked, and I don't want to be mean, I don't want to be, but if I was honest and I was doing it from a place of love, not only for me, but for the collective, would I still be doing it the way that I'm doing it? And the answer was no.
How come it was no? Because if you are raised to serve other people, to please other people, to put other people ahead of yourself, you would think that that was serving the community, that was helping the community. So how did it come to this feeling of actually it's not serving the community if I'm not being deeply honest with myself?
Because I'm also the community. So if it's not also not serving me while I'm serving the community, then it's not serving, right? It's not really working. And if I'm the one doing it, which means I'm supposed to be strongest because I'm pulling. But if I'm not strong to pull, then it's not serving anybody actually. And the other realization that came through was most of it is perception. Like most of it, most of what we do culturally ends up not feeling honest. It doesn't feel like I'm doing this because my mom would kill me if she found out that I didn't do it. I'm doing this because it's such a terrible thing to be seen not doing it for others. And none of that includes me.
You're using these big words like lying to yourself, it's not honest, and those imply that that's on purpose, that you're deceiving on purpose. But that's so not the case, right? Like you're
No,
doing your
it's
best.
not.
You
It's
just want happiness for other people.
yes, yes. But so also the other thing that the course brought on or brought up was to be conscious, to be aligned, right? So my mind aligned with my heart. It almost gave me that second, take a breath. Because taking a breath before saying yes to you doesn't mean I'm being malicious, I'm being mean, I'm being this. It's actually better for everybody if I take a breath. Because then if I align everything, maybe a clever idea comes out because I took a breath and I'm like, okay. And those are all those little things that I discovered are what if I loved myself. Like it's not this huge aha thing that I thought should, but it's those little things and they make such a huge difference.
I'm hearing you say that your journey was almost one from like being externally focused to
Yes,
being internally focused. And
yes.
while you were externally focused, then this idea of loving yourself was something you had to fight off. It didn't feel right. It felt selfish. It maybe felt not in your culture. It's like a white
Yes.
thing to do. You didn't say that, but I'm saying it.
I think I've said that to myself that before. It's like such a white thing.
It is. It's much more familiar in sort of the white cultures, not
Yeah.
all, but some of
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
And then something shifted where you went inside into your own experience and you realized, wait a minute, if I'm not happy, it doesn't actually serve the people that I'm trying to serve. It doesn't serve my child, my family, my partnership, my body, my community. Did
Mm.
I understand that correctly?
Yes. That's 100%.
Wow.
It serves no one.
So I want to ask this, in terms of the cultural thing, because I think it's something that a lot of people will feel and question. Do you feel like you're allowing yourself something culturally inappropriate within your context?
No. So the words that I used when I was journaling those very first days, I used it feels like I'm betraying my culture. That was the actual word that I used. As time is going and I've understood and I've made it mine, I don't feel like I am. I actually feel like I I've got more to give now. I'm more of an asset now with what I know than when I did before.
the whole point of it and the whole point of the course is that you learn who you are. You learn what that answer is for you, and nobody can know it for you. So
Yeah.
in terms of the cultural part of it, yes, I'm a middle class white woman teaching this, and that has its own impact. But because it's supposed to be for each one of us, it will flow into what's right for you and where you need to
Yes.
take it within your own context, whatever that
Right.
may be. So it's really precious for me to hear that you were able to take it and adjust it and make it fit in a way that was
Yeah.
comfortable for you and in a
Yes.
way that will serve your community and your important people.
Yeah. And it has. Wow.
I think we're often afraid that doing this kind of thing is going to mean that we're selfish and we're self-involved and that other people are not going to like it. How has it impacted your family and close people?
I won't lie, there's been proper backlashes because I've always been that way, right? So I've always like I've taken on a role. Like in my family, I am that person, the responsible one. You can leave everything with me. I will just take it and leave, even though you were supposed to help me with it. It doesn't matter. I will end up, And and now when I turn around and I express it clearly that that's not going to happen, I don't want to do that. What I would rather do is A, B, and C and not D and E. At first, people were shocked. Okay. And then no one would say anything. And, and they probably thought, she's probably PMSing, just give her a couple of days, she'll be over it. And then I would insist, right? And I would stand my ground, and this would be the boundary that I'm drawing. And like, why are you so selfish? I can't believe you don't want to do this. Da, 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 da. But then, so that was the first reaction, right? But over time, it's gotten better, and I'm not yet sure. Is it because I've gotten used to the surprise, or like they've realized that this is not, I'm just not going to be a pushover, like you're just not going to lay this and I'm just going to do it for you. As a result, I've gotten really, really close with people, or I've gotten, the distance has just become really, really wide with people. So there's no more people that are in between. It's either like we've gotten really, really close, or that's it. So it's been amazing in that sense that it has brought out the true colors of what each relationship was.
Can you identify a difference between the relationships that got closer and the relationships that got more distance? What was the difference between them?
Some of them surprised me. There are those ones that I assumed would just go away, but they didn't. They became closer instead. So that was a nice surprise. And then there was the other surprising ones where the people that I thought were close weren't really that close. They were just, I was a reliable person. I was a reliable resource. And then when I stopped being a reliable resource, then my usefulness ended, and and was bye. Okay.
Wow. So the ones that have gotten closer can tolerate your truth and actually appreciate you for you.
Yes.
So, how do you feel about that filtering that has happened?
Sure. That was heartbreaking. I won't lie. Truly heartbreaking. And then some of it was, I'm so happy. Like I got real friends out of it.
If you could turn back time and undo it, would you undo it?
No,
Why not?
because it might be painful, but it's the truth. like I'm in a place now where I trust. There's no iffy. I don't know if I should tell Eilat this. I don't know if I I don't know if I know.
So you trust the relationships that you
Yes.
have now because you know they're solid
Yes.
and real.
And there's a sort of comfort, like it's instinctual, like that comfort that yeah.
And is that your own personal relationship with your partner? Has it made it worse? Has it made it harder? Has it been good?
It's been good. It's been really good. Um, like he actually seems to be learning too. So the other day we were having car problems and he needed to go somewhere. And literally no one was coming through. And he's always the one, like I always tease him and call him a taxi driver because he will wake up in the middle of the night and, help out and do those things and be there for people. And he said to me that morning, you know what? I'm literally not going to call anybody. I'm not going to do anything anymore because when it was me on the other side, I would always call and say, are you okay? Do you need a lift? Can I take you? And just no one is. He said, I'm just gonna do it like you do it.
That's a painful moment, though, to see that.
Yeah, yes.
But also an invitation for him to start expressing what he needs from his close
Exactly.
people.
Yes. So it's been incredible in that way.
Sisanda, what would you say to somebody who was thinking about doing this, but wondering if it's kind of a white thing, if it's culturally appropriate, if it's going to fit?
Oh, I'll tell them it will challenge you. It'll challenge everything that you know. But if you allow yourself and you listen and you trust your gut, because that's what I did. I trusted my gut and I listened. And then Lower, like what you said, you need to make it yours. You don't have to take mine. You need to make it yours so that it makes sense. And I did. I made it mine. And now it makes sense for me because I made it mine, and not necessarily took exactly what you said. And it's been amazing. It's been a mind opener. Like I feel like I was standing here and now I can stand on the balcony and I can see, like in the perspective. Yeah.
Someone I spoke to said for her it felt like realizing that there's a place at the table for her too. What you're saying kind of reminds me of that.
Yes.
And the experience of being in the group, did you find it supportive? Was it difficult? The other people
It
in the
was
course?
really supportive. I didn't think when you're having that struggle, it feels like I don't really always want to talk because I feel like I'm always the negative Nelly. But they didn't give, like they gave me space. They allowed me. And I felt the freedom to express what I was truly feeling, which was cool.
Thank you so much for sharing this. It's deeply appreciated.
Sure. It's actually nice to talk about it because also in my head, it's not sitting as this story, right? Like, so as you're asking me these questions, things are coming up and yeah.